Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we are going to tackle a common interview question. How would you build a traffic light component in React? Imagine you are tasked with creating a traffic light for a web application. You need it to cycle through red, yellow and green lights at specific intervals, just like real traffic lights. This problem tests your understanding of React's state management and lifecycle methods, as well as your ability to implement a solution that meets specific requirements. Join us as we walk through the steps of building this traffic light component from scratch. By the end of this tutorial, you will have a solid understanding of how to approach similar challenges in React interviews. Let's get started. We will begin by creating a new React project using Create React App. This sets up our development environment and provides a solid foundation. Even though for this video, I am using Code Sandbox. Open your terminal and run npx create react app traffic light to create a new React project named traffic light. Once the project is created, navigate into the directory by running cd traffic light. Now let's open the project in our code editor to start working on our traffic light component. But first, in our app component, we will create the configuration. The configuration will detail which light will run for how many seconds and what's the background color and what light to activate next. The first light will be red, so the background color is red, and the time it will be switched on for is 4 seconds. And the next light is green, it will be switched on for 3 seconds. And the next light is yellow, it will be switched on for 0.5 seconds. Now let's create the traffic light component. For that, inside the src directory, create a new folder named components. This is where we will store our traffic light component inside the components folder, and then inside a folder called traffic light we create a new file called index.js, and for the css we create style.css. We will define a functional component named traffic light and also import the necessary hooks like useState, useEffect, etc. We'll also import prop types, because even though we are using JavaScript, we want to maintain some kind of type safety. The next thing is to export this component from this file, and then we implement the type safety. For implementing the type safety, we use prop types. We write traffic light.prop types and then an object in which initial color will be prop types, string is required, config prop types, which is an object, and it's also required. Now we will create a state variable for storing the current color and also storing the initial color as the initial value of this current color state. And then let's loop over the configuration and create the 3 lights. This will be 3 divs as of now, all within one parent div, which will be having a class name of traffic light. Each of this div, which represents a light, will have a key of the color which is unique and a class name of light and the color. The light class name will have the basic properties of a light, like the shape of the light, the width and height of the light, and the color class will have the color. Also, we will have a dynamic style added to this div for background color. The logic is as such that if the current color is equals to the color of this particular div, then the background color will be taken from the configuration, otherwise it will be transparent. So all the 3 lights are created now. Let's go back to the main index.js, the app component, and also import this traffic light component there so that all the traffic lights can be seen. To import that, we need to first write the import statement and then within the div with the class name of app, call this component called traffic light. As we know that the traffic light component takes two props, initial color, let's give it red, and the config. Now let's take a look at the CSS. We first create a class called light, and within that class we add two properties, width and height. Let's put it as 80 pixel, both width and height. The border radius is set to 50% because it will be a circle. Also, let's put a margin of 10px. Let's also add the three color classes, red, yellow and green. Each of these will have background color as transparent and border specified to be 1px solid and that color. We will also need to define the traffic light class. Let's add display flex to it, but as you can see, if I add a display flex, all the divs will be arranged side by side. So let's add flex direction as column. Also, just for beautification sake, I'm aligning the items to center so that the traffic light comes in the center. Now let's dive into implementing the logic for our traffic light component using the useEffect hook in trafficlight.js file. Let's break down the code inside the useEffect hook to understand what each part does. We start by defining the useEffect hook, which takes a function as its first argument. This function will be executed after every render. Inside the useEffect function, we destructure the duration and next properties from the config object based on the current color. We then set a timer using setTimeout, which will change the current color to the next color after the specified duration. Additionally, we return a cleanup function from useEffect to clear the timer when the component unmounts or the state changes. Finally, we specify current color and config as the dependency array, indicating that the useEffect should rerun whenever the state current color changes. By using the useEffect hook in this way, we ensure that our traffic light component cycles through the colors and the specified intervals, providing an accurate representation of a real traffic light. And there you have it. We have successfully built a traffic light component in React step by step. This guided implementation has demonstrated how to approach similar problems in React interviews, breaking down the process into manageable state. Feel free to customize and extend the functionality of the traffic light component to suit your specific needs. If you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to give it a like and share it with your friends or colleagues who might also benefit from it. Subscribe to our channel for more tutorials and coding tips, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest content. Thanks for coding along with me today, and as always, happy coding!